Now, it was one of Britain's worst air show disasters in recent history, and today the final report into the Shoreham air crash blamed a series of pilot errors for the tragedy, where 11 people lost their lives. Investigators said Andy Hill had been travelling too slowly and too low to complete the loop manoeuvre that he attempted moments before crashing onto the busy A27 back in August 2015. Sky's Rebecca Williams has been speaking to the parents of one of those who died.
This was Jacob at his graduation.
Jacob Schilt had everything to live for, but he was killed with 10 others when the Hawker Hunter jet crashed in August 2015. His parents told me that despite today's report, they do still have unanswered questions.
I don't think there's ever going to be closure. I think it's a cliche, which is handy, but I don't think it means anything. But it is an important step on the way to finding out what really happened.
He was everything to us. You know, obviously we've got our daughter Louise, and she misses him tremendously as well, so it's left a huge hole in our family.
And what kind of a guy was he?
Cheerful, oddly enough, considering his father. Cheerful, mischievous, and great zest for life.
This was the moment the Hawker Hunter jet attempted a bent loop at the Shoreham Air Show, but it was flying far too low and crashed into a fireball on the A27 below. 11 people were killed and many more injured. Among the victims was Maurice Abrahams, a chauffeur who was on his way to a wedding.
He was really quite a character. His death, along with all the others, of course, is very, very tragic, and that is why this report is very important.
In Shoreham, 18 months on, and the memories of what happened are still clear. Today's report put the crash down to pilot error. That pilot was Andy Hill, who's been investigated by Sussex police on manslaughter charges. The plane was supposed to carry out the manoeuvres above the airfield behind me, but it veered off course. Now, as part of this investigation, the pilot, Andy Hill, has been questioned several times, but he can't remember what happened on that flight. We heard today how he could have abandoned the manoeuvre he was doing, but he hadn't been trained how to do so.
It's shown here to have started its loop at 185 feet, which is actually quite low. And its speed was shown there as 310 knots, which was also a little too slow. The top of the loop, it's at 2,700 feet, and the suggestion is it should have been higher. 105 knots airspeed is critically low here. At this point, the pilot should really have been thinking about some other manoeuvre.
There was criticism too of the Civil Aviation Authority, who carry out safety checks at air shows, and the organisers' inadequate risk assessments. Recommendations have now been made, and the families hope those will stop similar events happening in future. Rebecca Williams, Sky News, Shoreham by Sea.